Hello, my name is Cantatore, also known as Adapting, and I am the jungler for the Atlantis Leviathans.
Here at the Smite World Championships, the 10th of them, 10 years of this game, we just had Smite 2 finally revealed. How do you feel about it? Like, what did you think of that initial showing and like what we're getting so far?
It looks really nice, like visually I think it looks really interesting, and from what I've seen it's gonna be like quite drastic changes to the game, so I'm curious to see how it's gonna play out.
Obviously, Smite 1 has so many gods already. Like, we're getting our 130th, which was announced here at the championship. They're not going to have all 130 gods right away, but which ones do you really want to see, like, either come in or be reworked as far as the Smite 2 roster?
I'm actually not even sure who's on the roster right now, but I would say like you want probably like the classic gods there first, like the Thor, Poseidon, Fenrir, like the classic gods, and then maybe some of the more popular new gods that they added, so like throughout the years that's like, you know, generally been played a lot, like Merlin and like, you know, maybe Thoth and stuff like that.
As far as like the game itself also goes, like there's going to be some changes to that as well. We're going to see some changes in the buffs. We're going to see some changes in some of the gameplay. As a jungle player, what do you hope to see out of like the camps, the big buffs, and like just like the pathing through the map?
I think for a jungler it would just be nice to see quite a few changes, to be honest. Like, first of all, I would like to see the fact that, you know, in the early game, when you invade, you get like a full reward for it, and then I just like it to be so that the jungle belongs more to the jungler rather than being like a shared kind of commodity or whatever you call it. Because right now you're just sharing the jungle between everyone as like smart as you can, but the jungle is just, you know, going back and forth depending on where you're like helping collect farm. So, like a more independent jungle, I guess.
Smite 1 being around for 10 years, like there's been so much history in this game and so many championships, so much playtime. How do you feel about the transition from one game to the other, as far as like, obviously it's going to probably be a while before we see the pro scene move over to Smite 2. How does that looming transition feel to you?
I think it's going to be very interesting, like if we end up having the global scene and having like EU, NA, and you know, the majors again. I think that would be really cool, and I do think that if it you know, ends up happening, that's gonna be really good for the game, and I think that's gonna bring a lot of people back into the game, and I think it's gonna make it more lucrative for new players as well to try and get to that top level.
One of the things they mentioned is, as they announced Smite 2, is that Smite 1 isn't going away. And obviously there's so much time that you can spend on any given game as a pro player. Are you still going to like fiddle around in Smite 1 even if Smite 2 is there for you?
Well, until Smite 2 launches, probably a little bit, but I feel like, yeah, once Smite 2 is like fully out, and if it's going to have like a competitive scene, I don't see myself playing Smite 1 anymore after that.
Who do you think would be like, as far as the cast goes, like, you mentioned some of the gods that you would love to see. Which ones are you more interested in them maybe holding off for, as far as gods like that are either a threat to you, either a threat to the team comp or your style of play? Who do you want to see kind of pushed back as far as the roster goes?
The three on the top of my mind will be Aphrodite, Kepri, and Nox. I don't want to play against them.
This is about those particular characters that like you would see them pushed back as opposed to other ones coming in.
They're just annoying to play against. They just make my life as a jungler miserable because they just keep their carries alive, or, you know, just have like loads of annoying CC. So
item builds, like we're seeing a rework of some of the items, a rework of some of the things that go along with them. What do you want to see as far as either new item creation, existing item reworks? What do you want out of your kit in Smite 2?
I'm not sure. I mean, I guess just like more, it's gonna be more versatility, right? So it's just not having like too many set build paths, and then yeah, I'm not really too sure. Like, I just want, yeah, like items that help me kill other people. So.
Do you have any sort of closing thoughts on Smite 1 as a whole as we move towards the sequel?
Just grateful for everything that's, you know, been through Smite 1. It's been like a huge part of my life, and, you know, I've loved the game, I've loved the community and everything, so I hope that will carry over to Smite 2.